this month. Or I know the drug that you put me on is supposed to help, but I can only afford to take it every other day because I can't get it filled every month. So it is a huge component of what we do. And a large part of my role as a nurse practitioner is hooking my patients up into community resources. So for instance, the drug companies who do the MS medications realize, at least they realize, that it's ridiculous to charge people $32,000 to $64,000 a year for medication. And if people are uninsured or underinsured, meaning they have insurance but their co-pays are still 20%, which 20% of $5,000 is a lot. Usually those drug companies will pick up the difference and pay the difference. So we are lucky in that sense. But there's not a lot of programs out there to help with the cost of blood work and MRIs and other medications. So it's a huge component and a huge consideration.
Yeah. Would you by any chance know anything on the Affordable Care Act regarding to MS? We're covering the Affordable Care Act and how it might
breaking up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I'll go slower. So we're focusing a bit of our documentary on the Affordable Care Act.
Okay.
So after that came out in 2010. So do you hear a lot about the Affordable Care Act with your patients now? Do you hear anything about it benefiting? Do you see any results? As a nurse practitioner, what do you see in the field with that?
The Affordable Care Act for my population of patients was a huge win because we had all these patients who had no insurance and really were not taking care of themselves because they couldn't afford to. Because who could possibly afford to pay out of pocket, even for one doctor's visit, much less all the tests and the medications that we order in order to maintain this disease. So for them to be able to have any sort of coverage is amazing. The only pitfall that I see in practice is the high deductibles. So in January, all of a sudden you start seeing a lot less patients and they start not filling their scripts because they have to meet a $6,000 deductible. So I think it's not perfect, but it's been a huge win for my community of patients, definitely.
We have two more.
Ask her if she ever treated anybody like young people with MS, and then started into like being young.
Yeah. So now again, regarding to young people with conditions, what as somebody that's been through that, you're at your high point in your life, and you get this kind of a diagnosis. What do you tell? Do you have a lot of patients, first of all, that are young and that you see kind of in the same boat as you? And what would you tell those people?
Yes, so MS is most commonly diagnosed in the 20s and 30s, which is when most of us finishing school, starting our careers, starting our families. So a very typical patient is a young woman in her 30s who just had a baby and is trying to work and handle being a new mother, and all of a sudden she gets slammed with an MS diagnosis. And I think the thing to stress to people who are young is that you're not going to die from MS, and you are young, so chances are good that you're going to have MS for more years than you ever knew what it was like to not have it. And you can choose to set the tone for the rest of your life, essentially. Don't stop what you're doing. There's no reason for you to stop. You might have to make accommodations, and that's fine. You're going to have to learn to be a little gentler with yourself and listen to your body and take a step back, because you have this whole another piece of the puzzle that's now been introduced. But there is a way to work it in to your life and make it not hold you back so much. You might have to work around it, but you shouldn't quit your job and stay home and consider it a death sentence. There's for sure a good reason to keep going with everything that you want to accomplish in life.
Definitely ask that question.
So now at this point, you kind of got a handle, on yourself, and all these things about MS. So at this point now, what do you see the rest of your life? How do you see the rest of the perspective on the rest of your life?
I think one of the valuable life lessons that MS has taught me is stop obsessing about the future. And you can plan and plan and plan all you want, but things are probably going to get thrown in the way, and it's going to turn out completely different than what you intended to. So I learned to kind of stop being the control freak who always has the next 5, 10, 15 years planned out, and learn to accept things that I didn't think would be good for me. And it's kind of opened up my whole future, because it's kind of a big question mark, and instead of being scary, it's really exciting. Because if you had told me 3 years ago that this is where I would be, and these are all the things I'd be doing, and I would have given a TED Talk, and I would have my own website, and I would be giving interviews, I would have never believed you. And my 5-year plan would have had me finishing school and just starting my career as an anesthesiologist. So, which would have also been great, I'm sure. I would have probably really enjoyed it, but I've learned that things don't go according to plan. So you might as well go with the flow and set yourself up for success as best as you can.
That's great, yeah. Should we just cut it?
Did we ask what advice should we give other young people?
Yeah, she said that when I asked her about her other patients. Yeah, I honestly, we've pretty much talked about all the points. Okay, well, we're just trying to see if we covered everything. We know we've already taken up so much of your time than we should have, unfortunately. But yeah, okay, so I think we should, I think we got a lot of good stuff. Yeah, so mainly we're trying to focus on young people improving their lives, and these diagnoses coming out. We have a college, well, he's currently not in college, he had to drop out, but he has ulcerative colitis, and would be a junior, I think, in school at this point. So, he's kind of going through that whole thing about kind of coping with this condition, and he had a lot that has gotten me down. So he dropped out of school and all this, so we're trying to get a perspective on people who have kind of overcome that and are not defeated, sort of.
Turn.
Plenty of days where but I've learned to forgive myself for it and give it. If it's a bad day, try to put it behind me and start every day differently. And just because I couldn't do something or couldn't accomplish something one day does not mean that I won't be able to do it in the future. So it's important to try to just remind yourself of that, to let go of the guilt that comes along with it and the stress that can cause, and just realize it's part of the package. And that, today might be a really bad day, but next week, next month, next year, you're going to be in a much better place. And one of the things I actually did was, during a really great day, I was kind of reflecting and being like, man, 2 weeks ago I was really at a low point. Now look at me, I'm feeling really good, I had a really great day. I think I should just sit down right now and write myself a letter, just to remind myself that next time where I have a day like that it's not the end of the world and it's going to get better. And so I sat and I wrote myself a letter, said, "Dear me," to myself on a bad day. And I referred back to that letter so many times in the first 2 years after I was diagnosed. And then last year I actually published it on the blog, and so now I've started having patients and a lot of other people do the same thing, or when you're having a good day, write a little motivational letter to yourself, and that'll help pick you up on a bad day. And I can share that with you guys too, but that's just one of the things that I've learned has helped.
That's awesome.
I think it's, yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much once again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of see how everything panned out with the video and the sound and all. And you know, if you are free by any chance, maybe down the line if we need another Skype setup and we can like figure it out fully the next time, you know, we'll just contact you at that email address that we have been talking over. Yeah, and we'll let you know how it comes along and about the final product.
Sounds good, and I'll email you that article.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Right. Okay.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye bye.
Bye.
She's way too nice.
She's so nice. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see how this sounds. Oh, this is
Hopefully.
I don't even know. Cause there's like a huge buzz.
I don't know.
Whatever. We got something.